The car business got to where it was a big situation, buying, selling, trading, and the whole bit, you know. Been in this business ever since I was old enough to walk and talk, but liked it and was given a lot of responsibility by my father. In other words, I've got on in planes and trains and going to, like I say, the Washington, D.C. area. And even when I was young and I went in and got into several big dealerships at an early age of like 25 years old. And outfits that had 100 cars and 200 cars to sell all at one time. In the horse business and this and that and the other, because we lived on a farm, but he still always fooled with some cars. I mean, maybe like 2 or 3, but then it got to be where it's like it is now. It was a big operation, and I would go to Washington, D.C. and Maryland and all those places and go sometimes twice a month. The more you can do for people, the more business you'll get. Well, the cleanup shops, we take care of people after they buy a vehicle. Then we'll take care of their car as far as cleanup later down the road. But everything is cleaned up before we deliver it. So we want everybody to be happy and take care of them. And one of our biggest clientele is women. And they like to pick up the phone and let's go pick up the car. And we do a lot of that, and they really like it. And not only do they like it, but they tell their neighbors and their relatives. And so it's just a good thing, a way to build your clientele. Good with people, and he would go to their houses. And even when I was young, he would send me like to South Carolina. I would go because I had a legal driver's license, but then he had me selling when I was in the 16, 17, 18-year-old. Maybe I was 14 years old or 15, but the whole time I was getting to learn locations and how he treated customers, and it was a learning process, and I enjoyed it, and I enjoyed getting to meet these people. And later on down the road, they knew my age and my name and everything. I went to Maryland and D.C. and a lot of the big, and fell in with some of the big dealerships in those areas, and fell in with one Chevrolet dealership, and bought, in the long run, I bought thousands of cars from them. And I knew everybody in their service department, the owner, the sales representatives, and the basic salesman. And I wanted to know everybody in that dealership, and it worked out great. Stayed with them overall over 30 years. And if you got in with those people and they knew that you were going to be around next week or next month. My wife didn't exactly like sometimes when I'd go as many trips as I'd go, or get in on a plane or whatever to get up there and get back. But it worked out real good. And then we got to where we could call over the phone, or they'd call us, and we believed in each other. So I got to doing a lot of phone buying. And just send out, we had our own car carriers, so we'd just send and pick them up. Back when I was young, if he was going to Spartanburg to look at a customer car or whatever, he'd take, in the summertime, he said, "Come on, let's go." And then he'd have me to walk around, and he'd walk around, "What do you see that I've missed," or whatever. And then we'd drive them out, and even though I was very young, 14 or whatever, I would discover some things that he didn't. I said, "Do you hear that little roar there in that right rear wheel? We might need to check that." But we did a lot of selling in Chesney, Spartanburg, Gaffney, all those places. And we'd go to the people's homes. They didn't all have to come here. But my father would go and take me and then let me maybe switch the tag into this and that, and anything that would be involving maybe later down the line. But then I got to know a lot of those people when I wasn't of age to be doing things. And then later, then I went to Shelby, Gastonia, Kings Mountain, all the mountain areas, Hendersonville, and the people knew me. And go right down here to Boiling Springs at the college area. I got where I had probably women down there, and I had probably 40 or 50 of those. And they just called, "Bring me a car." You got to treat them like a friend, not a customer. And you got to be truthful with it. In other words, don't take them something that's got a problem. You don't need to be there in it to start with. It's more than just selling cars, it's working with people. The cars are important, but the people are 100% important. It's all to how you treat everybody, and if you do treat them right, they'll work for you. And they've been great. That's what's made this company what it is our customer base. We know them, and we know where they live, and if they've got a problem and we know what to do about for them, we'll do it. So it's a thing of making the customers happy and keeping them happy. So that's what we're proud of here. Been here for years, a long time. My father used to send me to Washington, D.C., and then some of the big sales, I would go, like I say, to the big auctions. And one time she was with me at the sale, and I bought 61 cars. And she's jumping around like that, and that's, you know, but they were good buys, and I knew what I was doing. And I enjoyed it too, really. What I do is I got into it with one sale and stayed with it for 31 years, and it's got that plaque there about what all we did for them. And it was a great combination that we worked out together, and I can't thank them enough. And then we had other sales in Charlotte and South Carolina and all different, and it was because it was a partnership. It wasn't what I can cheat them out of or what they can cheat me out of. It was a thing of what we could do for each other. And it was really worked out. And right now, a lot of sales will call me and say, "I got 2 or 3 that you'd like." We send after them and pick them up, and they're still taking care of us. It's a great situation. The chief and one. Chief, you want to bet on this? And then I had some other names too. We won't go into those. So, I mean, some of the big dealers, they might have had another name for me. Big dealers from Greensboro, up in the northern states and all. But at the end, it all worked out pretty good. I could go to any sale that I've worked, and I'll be known, and I'll be taken care of. Because I had a lot of nerve, and I would bid against some of the big wheels and out of Charlotte and Greensboro, and they didn't scare me. If I wanted a car, I'd see how much they wanted it. And so I'd just stay right in and bid, and sometimes I would buy as many as 60 and 70 cars at one sale. And that would put me in the people at the office. They gave me a certain person to do my paperwork. All I would do is turn my sheets in, and when I get ready to come home, I'd go in. All the paperwork was done. And they really took care of me because I took care of them. And like I say, if they had a big sale going on, I would see that it was a big sale. But I was in with that ship over there, great, and it was good for us too. And every sale, like in Charlotte, they got a good sale now, and down here at Anderson and all. But if you work with them, they'll work for you, and that's just the way it works. If you're a pain in the neck, they can be a pain in the neck, and you'll come back home with 3 cars and not 33. So, and you got to enjoy it. I mean, Jackie thinks I show off. Like the last time I bought a Corvette down at the sale, and a fancy car. She didn't think I should have bought another one and this and that and other, but I just keep on collecting. And she's been down there when I've bought 30 or 40 cars off a big leasing company that I know. So, but you get to know everybody at these auctions and these car companies. Know everybody. Know the cleanup man. Know the bookkeepers, the sales reps, the owners. Know them all and let them know you. So, and then when you come there, they'll say, "Hey, we got something you might want to look at." So it's not saying, "Well, we hadn't got anything today." So it's I really enjoyed it. I look forward to it. She'll tell you that I'll go as much as I can go. Sometimes that don't work, but it works. We got along, and I bought houses from them. I bought cars from them, and I bought that property from them.
And how did you get to know them?
Because it was our next door neighbor. And then they lived, 3 miles from us where we lived. Ralph and the whole works. But they were good people, really good people. We worked well with them, and they did so with us. So, yeah, we like that combination.
The only thing is, he's never said. Can you start out saying we were good friends with, who is it?
Rupert and Ralph.
Yeah.
Can you start out and say that, because we don't have you saying that, and you're not going to.
Well, we were good friends because Rupert was up in Washington D.C. and Alexandria, Virginia, and those places, and I'd get to see him up there, and maybe buy a car too with him up there, and they were just very good. They were business people, but they were friends. I mean, it was a good combination. And I'd buy something from them, and they'd buy something from me. In other words, we bought one of the ladies that was a partner in this thing, and our husband passed, is we bought her house. And just that quick. And just nice people to deal with all the way through. It didn't make no difference what you were dealing with. They were good to work with. And they were good neighbors. I mean, if they had a part or something we needed down in their shop, take it and order us one, and we can get by for 3 or 4 days.
And who are we talking about again?
The Marr Motor Company right across here. And they were there for years, and we worked well with them. And we worked well with all the dealers. Jackie will tell you one that down on Broadway that wants to sit with us at ball games, or wants to ride the sale with me, or whatever. And you just got to get everybody gelling. I mean, and it works. What? What'd you say?
It's one big happy family.
Oh yeah, like they one day last week, my dealer traded for a car, and he thought he'd put too much in it, so he brings it up. Would you like to have this car? I drive it up the street and come back. I said, how much is it? And he tells me. I said, love it. Here, go in and get a check. But it was just something he didn't want to handle. But it wasn't because it was something bad. It was more than he liked to invest, I think. So, but it worked out real well. But, and I'm not bragging, but I try to get along with all the dealers. You know, if I've got something, we've got one company down here that's a family affair, and they sell cars out of their backyard. Where do they buy their cars if they sell out of their backyard? From me. And if we get 2 or 3 in, I'll just call, come on up and take a look. I think I've got 4 here that you'll buy. And they've been a great, I mean, in this, working out into the hundreds now where it started out at 3 and 4 a month. So if you're straight with people, people will be straight with you, and both will win. And it works out. They're good friends now, and they're not just business people, but they're good business people, but friends with it. So it's it all comes around and comes back home, and everybody is a winner. So I enjoy it, really. My wife will tell you that. So, what are y'all doing over there? Getting home late, you know. So, but I like this business.